It's a 0-0 mindset for us.
We got to keep getting better in order for us to put ourselves in a position to win the series.
We know it gets rowdy in Milwaukee, but I think we're ready for it.
Antetokounmpo draws the foul, banks it home. He will not be stopped. Oh, he throws it down. Cameron Johnson. Giannis Antetokounmpo punishing the Suns back-to-back 40-point final games.
Game 4, we got to break it. We got to play together. We got to believe in our winning habits. We got to stay aggressive.
Giannis was the story last night, but something to keep an eye on. Devin Booker continues to be productive this postseason, his first after suffering the nose injury against the Clippers in Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. But his numbers, they've taken a little dive here. Booker has put up 23 points per game in the 7 full games since the injury, but he's shooting just 29% from three-point range in that span. Let's not forget, of course, he was brilliant in Games 1 and 2 at the start of this series. Let's go back to Milwaukee as we're joined by Dave McMenamin, who's covering the Suns. So, Dave, let's start here. RJ and I talked about it in the last segment. Booker held to just 10 points on 3 of 14 shooting last night. How concerned are the Suns about this dip in production here?
Well, Kevin, Monty Williams, before the game ended, began his coaching and preparation with Devin Booker for Game 4. He put his arm around him towards the end of the third quarter, and he said, listen, normally this would be the type of game we just want to flush and move on from, but we got to learn from it, and I need you to play with a little more force moving forward. Now, Devin Booker, 3 for 14, that's not what we're used to seeing him do. Obviously, these playoffs, it's been a prodigious performance from him, third most points ever in a guy's inaugural postseason run, trailing only the likes of Dr. J. But moving forward, he can look back at what he's done coming off of poor performances this year in the regular season and the postseason. He's had 11 games where he came off a game where he shot 35% or worse. He's averaging 24 points on 45% shooting in those games, and most importantly, the Suns are 9-2.
Ooh, all right. Keep that in mind, of course, heading into Wednesday night. What did this team as a whole learn in that Game 3 loss that last night that they'll try to correct here moving forward the rest of the series?
Well, it's certainly interesting to hear Jay Crowder talk about the performance of Giannis Antetokounmpo in the last 2 games, back-to-back 40-point performances. That's the stuff of NBA lore. But Crowder said, we have enough bodies. We have people we can contend against him with. We just have to be better individually and collectively. Chris Paul stressed building a wall, and it's easier said than done because we all know Giannis can Euro step from half court and get right to the rim. But their mentality was, it's not what the Bucks did well, it's what we can improve on, and that's getting them off the offensive glass. The Bucks had 20 second chance points to the Suns only having 2. That's protecting the basketball, not having turnovers, and allowing Milwaukee to get out and run. And it's something as simple as Crowder said as getting to the 50-50 balls, wanting it more. Mano a mano is what Crowder said. And certainly he's the guy that brings in that toughness and grit to the group. Hopefully more of those Suns players will bring that to Game 4. Or else we're going back to Phoenix tied 2.
Okay, you mentioned
2-2.
Crowder. He brings the experience along with CP3, but the majority of this team is very young. We'll see how they respond coming off the worst loss of the postseason for the Suns. That is, of course, ABC on Wednesday night, Game 4 between the Bucks and Suns. Dave McMenamin live from Milwaukee.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.